Hey everyone, it's Jessica Michaels here with another A Cherry on Top Crafts YouTube hop. So this month's hop is focused on words and phrases, which is one of my favorite things to use on scrapbook layouts. I've got Paige Evans' Legendary Collection here. It's brand new in the shop and just released by Pink Fresh Studio and Paige Evans. I absolutely love this collection, and I felt it was only fair and only right to do Paige some justice by using one of her cut files on this. So I grabbed her cut file that says handsome, and I'm going to back the cut file with all of these gorgeous pattern papers from the small 6x8 paper pad. So I'm just grabbing some various patterns here that I want to use. I want this to be really fun and colorful. So I'm grabbing a whole bunch of different colors, just kind of pulling in all the colors of the collection. I love that stripy paper. I definitely want to do the D in the stripes. And then the other ones, I wasn't quite sure. So I'm just kind of winging it at this point. This is how I manually back my cut files. If you haven't seen any of my videos before, I just kind of pull the negative piece off of my Cricut mat after I cut it, and then I hold it onto my pattern paper and just cut an outline on there. So I'm just leaving a little bit of space so I have somewhere to glue to the back side of that cut file. So I'm just going to show you the S here again so that you kind of get the hang of it if you're new around my channel. If you are new here, welcome, and I'm so glad that you're here. Make sure you subscribe if you like my content, and then you can be notified of future videos that I post. So I've got a YouTube hot video here today for you for a cherry on top. So make sure you check out all of the creators down in the description and hop along to win a $25 gift certificate for a cherry on top. This is how I backed my O. I just wanted to show you guys because it was a little different. I went ahead and backed the star first, just like I did the other ones. And then this one, I actually glued right directly down to my pattern paper and then just cut out around it. It's easier to do if you do it fast, so the glue doesn't dry and it's still kind of pliable. I've got my little photo here of my little guy. I just trimmed it down to a little banner shape. I just thought that was super fun and just something extra I could do with my little photo of him. I'm just using one photo today. I'm not going to use a lot of photos. I really wanted to focus on just some creative art on this one. So I'm going to get out some inks here, some Distress Oxide inks, and blend them onto my page. So I'm just using Faded Jeans right here in a blending brush. I'm just blending this, just kind of smushing it around on the back of my cut file here on some white cardstock, and I'm just creating a nice little backdrop because my cut file I cut out on white and I wanted to do a white background. So this is a good way to make those patterns and your cut file pop and be able to actually see it on that white background. I just wanted something fairly clean and simple, but yet still kind of have a lot of design elements to it, and just again focus on that creativity. I'm grabbing some water here and I'm just going to flick some of that on to that Distress Oxide and dry it up with my paper towel. You can see what that does. It activates with that ink and just creates a nice splotchy effect and kind of marbleizes it, and I just love the way that that looks. I'm actually going to grab some fossilized amber oxide at this point and a stencil from my stash and just do a nice little sunburst here at the top just to give it a nice accent on that handsome cut file, and also it just adds a little bit more attention to draw your eyes back to my photo. I've got Evergreen Bough here that I'm pulling in now with yet another stencil. This stencil is actually from Echo Park. It's called First Day of School, and it's a 6x6 stencil. I'm just adding a little bit of interest here and just these little kind of star designs, or like X's or stars, but I just thought they looked really cool, and I just wanted to keep kind of going with my layering effect on my stencils and just add a little pop of color with that Evergreen Bough. So this is pretty much what it's going to look like at this point. I'm going to go ahead and glue this cut file down with my tape gun because I know that I'm not going to really do anything else to this background, and I want to add some white splatter on top of all of this. So I'm just grabbing some white acrylic paint, nothing fancy, watering it down a little bit so it's pliable enough that I can splatter it on with my paintbrush, because if it's straight paint, it's too thick to splatter. So I do water it down a little bit with my paintbrush and then just flick it on there and create some white splatters. I do like to do that over my cut file to kind of break up those patterns and keep it flowing nicely through the background mixed media. I've got my stickers here. I'm just going to use a bunch of word phrases today because our theme for this month's hop, of course, is phrases and words, or words and phrases. So I'm just going to add a bunch of wordy bits to this and really play on that theme. words are kind of a stronger point for me on my backgrounds because I just love to throw them in and use little wordy bits and pieces all over my layout. So this is kind of right up my alley. I've got some machine stitching that I've added across the top of my little banner picture just with my brother's sewing machine. And then I popped up that little badge that I cut out at the beginning of this video with some 3D foam squares and added that little chipboard geotag and this little arrow. That's from the chipboard stickers in this legendary collection. I love these. They're like the perfect dimension. They're not super thick, but they're just thick enough. I love them. And then these are the cardstock stickers that I was using earlier. They are also a perfect thickness if you are working in like a memory planner or you don't want anything super thick and a lot of dimension. Those are really nice because they do add a nice little sticker to your layouts or your memory planners, but they don't add a ton of bulk. So they're really nice. And they have a really good stick to them too. I've got some more 3D foam squares. I'm just going to pop up this embellishment from the embellishment ephemera pack. And then, again, just pulling out this little sticker sheet and going to put my date stamp on here. Also using Paige Evans roller date stamp to put my date on there. It's my favorite one. I use it all the time. I will be super sad when I run out of years on it because I absolutely love it. I've got this one here. I'm just putting it in the middle of my A, and I just pop that up with just one foam square there. That's pretty much the end of that embellishing. I'm just going to grab this stamp set. This is actually not from a cherry on top. It's from another company, but I love to use these stamps and any kind of word phrase stamps on my projects just to create another little pop of interest and color sometimes, depending on what colors I'm using. But for this, I've just pulled out some Honeybee Stamps Intense Black, and it's my favorite black ink. And then I just use little pops of color. This is the finished layout. I absolutely love how this came together of my little guy and just enjoying some outside time. So thank you guys so much for being here and for watching. Make sure you check out the other creators down below in the description and leave comments along the way to be entered into that $25 gift certificate. So thank you guys so much, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.